welcome, podcast world and all of out there out on Facebook Live. Say hey to you.
Hey, welcome. We have a little something different for you today.
A little something different today. We gonna do a little variety show today. We had some. Well, our scheduled guest had a rush of business, so we relieved her of her responsibilities to be on this week, and she'll be on next month. But we want to still do something with the show, so we decided to come on in and give you a little variety show. Brandise is with us.
Hello, I am here.
y'all know Brandise as our producer and our all around technician person who keeps the show running. But she's also the host and creator of her own podcast, Her Story. What is it? I forgot the name. Her Story.
Her.Story101.
Her dot. I knew the dot was in there. I couldn't find the dot. Her.Story101. And she's going to lead the show today. So we're going to do a little variety, and then we're going to chime in with some current topics. And we would ask, if you're out there listening, that you join in and answer some questions, comments, and keep this thing moving. Go ahead, Brandis, run with it.
All right, cool. So listen, always so much happening in our world, right? And we got to try to keep up with some of it when we can, and when we can't, we pick up the pieces, right? We take a little here, take a little there.
That's right.
So I currently work to support a call center for Detroit at Work, where, a lot of people, are getting hired, have opportunities to take up trades and do funding for different positions. And one thing that I'm noticing is that since, the pandemic, people had the opportunity to, I wouldn't say opportunity. Let me change my language there. So people, unfortunately were laid off of work. So they had to do unemployment and be on unemployment. Some people had never, had to be on unemployment, didn't know what that experience was like. Hearing people call in, there was a lot of people frantic. There were a lot of people, worried, scared. And then there were some people who were just like, hey, I'm cool. I don't got to go to work. Cut me the check. Right. So it went on for months and months. And then they started offering additional money and support for people. So for some people, it was almost like they were making more money or were making more money than they would have if they went to their regular 9 to 5. So people were, kicking back and, taking it all in and enjoying it. So now we're starting to see as, mandates and things and restrictions have been lifted and businesses are opening, establishments are, ready to rock and roll and try to get back into the swing of things. They're having a hard time finding people that want to come back to work.
Right.
So, my question I raised here is kind of twofold, right? Are people hesitant to go back to work because, COVID is still out here. It's still real, whether they've been vaccinated or not, they're still, they're a little scared. I don't know if it's because, they got kids or they don't want to catch it, whatever the reasons may be. Or is it, I'm a chill and get this money.
Right.
I want to say, I think it was the weekend before last when they cut the additional PUA funds, right? So now it's kind of just like your whatever it is, 26, 42 weeks of unemployment that you're entitled to, and you're not getting that additional support. So that's just my question. Why don't we want to go back to work? And I'm specifically speaking, I'm sure it's other people, but for us, in our community, what's that hesitancy? Again, is it because COVID is still out here, or is it like, no, I'm okay. I'll sit down.
Right. Well, we over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking with different people about the unemployment, the extra money for the unemployment, and really for me personally, I'm kind of glad that they are limited in that. But we found that there have been some people who have not worked in years, but they filled out the paperwork. They told the truth on the paperwork, and then the government cut them checks. And so, and also stories about people who were part-time workers, people who were full-time workers that were part-time laid off, and they were getting that extra money. So, at first I thought that I was a little skeptical about the whole thing about people making more money on being laid off than working. Right.
full 40 hours. Yeah.
But I heard testimonies of people who literally were getting more money laid off than they were working 40 hours.
Oh, yeah, I saw it too.
Yeah.
Closely, I've seen it. I was
Right.
like, oh, okay.
Right.
And I understood it. It should have been, I guess, some type of trigger or alert to, our government, our world to notice, hey, people shouldn't, have to be laid off work, or there should be, more money sent out to them than them going to work and actually putting in time for a 40-hour work week or 80 hours, however you get paid, and you can stay at home and get that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
That
wish.
does make sense.
I'm like, can somebody go back to the drawing board and figure out maybe we not paying our living wage is not enough for people to sustain themselves, or feel like they should risk their lives to go back out there, in the workforce, and then they only gonna make a couple nickels.
Yeah, that could be the problem, but
Yeah, and then you know what? Another thing is too, they got that added income again with the children.
Oh
yeah.
That started.
Yep, another good point.
So they got another added bonus. And like I said, I've been retired. And, and I do like to go out and eat, and I go, enjoy myself. And I was even considering, I said, damn, what if I done went back to work? And I was like, I'm not, because they're going to have me working harder than the ones, because like you said, they'll be adding, when you retire, you work 2 days, maybe 3 days, 4 hours a day. But then I'm coming and I'm being diligent, obedient to my job and to my employer. But he might ask me for some additional days, some additional ones.
To cover somebody that ain't show up.
right.
Yes, and I was like,
Well, the bottom line is if you go to work, you're gonna be working.
you're going to be, because it's not enough staff, so.
Right. Well, I mean, it was in the middle of summer, early part of fall. There were more job open signs, we're hiring signs, than you ever saw at Christmas.
Never.
Ever. With all the added incentives and come work for us, you get this, you get that, all kind of stuff. I would have taken that. Maybe, it's different if you weren't or not in the position, right?
Right.
But I would have used that if I was looking for work as an opportunity to say, yeah, here's my salary requirement, or here's my hourly wage requirements. You gonna meet that?
Right.
I would have used that as a bargaining tool, because if people, weren't showing up, didn't have, I would have taken full advantage of being able to say, here's my resume, here's what I bring to your company, here's what I bring to the table.
Exactly.
Can you match that? And
Right.
now you're making more than what you would have been making, being laid off or receiving unemployment, and you're able to enjoy.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
you didn't have to scam and scheme or do anything. You just put a demand on a dollar amount to, your work, your demand, what they needed.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny because fast food restaurants were paying bonuses for people to sign up to work.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were even paying you daily, like they used to do at the car wash for people of a certain age.
Slide it to you.
Yeah.
So I pulled up numbers. July's unemployment rate in Michigan, 256,000 or 5.4% of the state.
And here's the sad part. That's really not a bad number. But I don't think that's an accurate number. It can't be. It can't be because so many places are struggling for workers.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, going out of business, closing the doors because they don't have workers. There was just a cheap. Hey, Teresa, Ray, Sharon, how y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
There was a Auntie Annie's,
Mm-hmm.
the pretzel joint out at 12 Oaks Mall. We had went there earlier this year.
One of our favorite places.
And they send me little coupons. Oh, you got a bonus, you got a free gift. Come out there. We go to the mall. The place is closed. Go back again. The place is closed. Go back again. So then I went over and looked at the sign, and they were hiring every position at that place.
Wow.
Every position.
Yeah.
And and everybody out there who's listening, you've seen the fast food joints, McDonald's and Wendy's and so forth, Burger King and all them lines wrapped around the building. Teresa, how you doing?
The line's been wrapped around the business. Those one of the ones that never really even lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never closed. They was still they was getting tons of business, but they only had 2 people working.
Mm-hmm.
So you go there at 8, 9 o'clock, and you be in line for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And because we talked to a couple of them, and they said, "Well, we the only people here, and been here all day."
Yep.
See, that's what I was afraid of. So,
Right.
hey.
Exactly. That back to your point.
You've been there all day talking about
all day working
somebody
hard.
else come spin these pretzels. I'm not. Sprinkle the cinnamon sugar on these because I'm out today. I think I'm checking out.
I'm like you. I've been there cleaning up. I was like,
You've been doing it all.
Right. So
let
me give another. So listen, if you're out there listening, watching, listening in, we are doing a variety show. We're going to talk about a lot of current topics, and we would ask that you chime in if you have a comment, something that you've noticed, or even a potential solution to some of the stuff we talk about. Just jump right in with a comment. We're both monitoring the chat room, Brandise and I, and we'll be responding to you as soon as we can. So go ahead, Brandise.
The other thing I just wanted to highlight about, this is as well, going to restaurants, these days, that service charge, that gratuity charge now on at some of these places is like, my mama always said it's food at home. It probably is food at home that I could have ate and saved $20. I've always been the type to be like, I'm gonna do my best and tip again, regardless if the service was poor, I still just do, my minimum. I ain't gonna go above and beyond for you, but I'm still just gonna do something, right? Mm-hmm. Now you look at that bill and you like, huh? It ain't a party of 6, this a party of 2, and I'm still getting hit with 15, 20%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Service charge and gratuity, so they're trying to recoup. They're trying to, make it happen. You got people running around. Sorry, it's only 2 waitresses. It's gonna be an hour wait, an extra hour. All this different stuff like that. So I feel like everybody's feeling the impact of people not going back to work, whether they've switched careers and they're like, oh, I found something at a remote position, so I don't got to go back to the restaurant now, or they just not going back to the restaurant. So,
and so for those listening, that's the question: why are people not going back to work? Is it just in fact that bonus $300 a week that they were getting, and now whatever extra they get for each child that you have, or is it something else? I guess we'll find out if that's the reason soon enough, won't we? Because they stopped the bonus.
Yep, they stopped the bonus, and then if you are, receiving unemployment, they discontinue work search requirements. So during the pandemic, you didn't have to prove that you were looking for a job. You didn't have to, none of that. Now they've reinstated it. So you getting that money, you got to get on there with Marvin and certify, and you got to prove, your work search and have somebody sign off on and, say, okay, you were attempting to look for work. Or eventually at some point, they going to cut that too. So, people got to make do. And I feel like a lot of what I was experiencing, I was recently, just hiring for employees, and people weren't showing up for the interview. I had somebody we actually extended an offer to, they accepted it, disappeared for a week. So I still don't have an employee. HR, I still don't have an employee is what y'all saying. Okay, yeah. So finally they showed up on the scene like, okay, yeah, I want to go ahead and get my background and drug screen scheduled. No, you don't. Thank you, but we rescinded the offer, with or without your permission. Next, we're on to the next.
That's right. Teresa was asking that the government reduce the funds for unemployment, and the short answer is yes. But the way the unemployment thing works is that the federal government sent money to the states for the unemployment concerns, and the states administered that additional money through their unemployment pot. And so Michigan just ended it, last week? Was it last week?
I want to say last weekend. Let me look. I think it was the holiday weekend.
Yeah, it might have been the
Right,
week
rolling into
Labor
that
Day.
Monday. Yeah. Yep.
So well, that's more. Yeah, so it probably was Labor Day weekend that it ended. So yeah, they reduced it because, but I know there was talk that they were going to reallocate that money some kind of way. Uh, I don't know
We
because
shall see.
the problem is that it was the whole unemployment thing wasn't thought out well. It was let's do something to help these people.
Quick.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
give them some money, but they didn't think out how they were going to administer it. They
Mhm.
actually tried to turn it over to the states, and it put the states in a bad position trying to administer issuing those funds.
Mm-hmm.
It just did. I mean, people legitimately, so people were getting money that they had no rights to get, and in fact,
Twice over, 3 times over.
right, and in fact, with that money they were given for, yes, Sharon, I said they short staffed. Uh, there were this one business, a pizza place. When this guy got caught with the money they gave for paying your staff with, that he was getting that money, he wasn't paying anybody.
Yeah, there were people who businesses had been closed and applied for, those loans and stuff like that. And it's like, nah, you know what? You were not affected by this. And
right. And
if you want to risk that, by all means, I hope you got a plan to, when they come looking for their money back, because that also happened. People were getting overpayment, and they sent the blast us, hey, you're probably going to start getting a bunch of calls because state of Michigan sent out letters and sent out emails telling people, hey, we overpaid you, send it back.
Okay, because I know there was 2 things with that repayment. I know there was one. I think Dana Nessel, the state attorney general, asked the federal government to forgive some of those folks that got overpaid.
Okay.
Because it was the state's fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't the people's fault. It was the state's fault. But again, you know how they do with money. They want theirs back.
I know they sent the note. Whether I don't know anyone personally that said I had to write a check, to pay somebody back or anything. But I knew they sent a message that said there was overpayment on your account.
Right.
So hopefully they forgave it. Like I said, yes. Everybody was overwhelmed. Whether you made an honest mistake, or there were people we know who are being prosecuted or being dealt with by the law who were not making mistakes and doing stuff that they shouldn't have been doing at work. So,
right. Well, the one guy I was just talking about, the business owner, he was just ordered to pay back, I think, $1.4 million. Was that the number? It was some ridiculous number that he was ordered to pay back because he was just taking that money, buying clothes and cars.
He took a trip. Yeah,
took a couple trips.
I was like, during the pandemic, doing all that,
living it up. You hear me? They said,
but
if they were gonna go out, they was going out with a bang.
Right, without a doubt.
And some of those people were getting the stimulus as well as unemployment.
Yes. Getting all that.
All of it.
Well, because just because you were unemployed didn't mean you weren't entitled to the stimulus.
Right.
All you had to do to get the stimulus was file your taxes.
That's
it.
So if you work then.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it was one person I know, and I don't want to say no names. The story that I heard, I'll put it that way, that this person hadn't worked in 15 years.
And how many weeks were they through the whole?
They got the unemployment for the whole thing. They applied for it, and then he got it.
Paid them back.
Wow. Like you said, that's when they was just stamping and sending.
100%.
Well, you remember because so many people weren't getting their money.
Yeah. Yep. Backed up. Our lines were overflowing because people, I heard y'all can help. I heard y'all can do this. I heard y'all. They started hiring up tons of people I know that I sent off of my staff. I found out they was working for them. I said, oh, I know they doing any old thing. They picking up any people to just answer the phone at this point because that person, ain't nobody coming to ask me for my review of them. And why they don't work for me? Oh, y'all grabbing anybody. Okay, cool. Somebody just need to answer the phone. Do what you got to do.
Look here. Teresa says she's just waiting for the government.
Oh, please, Miss Bennett. Yes, I'm with you. Standing in agreement.
Now, well,
with this pause in it, I don't want to pay it at all.
They don't want to write because that's tied up in the infrastructure money, and so they don't want to pay any of that. Don't pay any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice, But we so far in debt from the money that's been paid out for COVID relief. Good luck with that.
That's what I said. Hey, just you can cover 5,000 of mine, 2,000. I'll take that.
I
Right.
know.
Go on
I'm
my
like
way,
you said.
quietly smiling. Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah, even 5%. I
Right.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
And Ray Nelson said there has been and always will be lazy people that don't want to work, but don't make it easy for them. Culture change. And I think that's what it should be. Because it's just, well, I'll give another example. It all tied together, but off of the unemployment part, the people who aren't paying their mortgage.
Yeah.
Because there are landlords who said that some of these people were not paying their mortgage before COVID. They were in a position where they were going to go for eviction, and then they put that moratorium on. And so these people just weren't paying them. It's not like they ain't got no money. They just not applying it to their mortgage.
Yeah.
And so now you got these people who the landlords who are upstanding citizens who are suffering. They're just suffering. Teresa, you can't have it all erased.
I want it erased. Go in the system. That's what we always joke and say. Why nobody hacking Sally Mae? What she called now Navient? Why y'all not getting in the Navient system and deleting stuff? Stop hacking these crazy websites. Go get over there. Please. In the T section, if you would. Just a small request. Backspace all the way.
all the way out.
All the way out on my little loan, please. Thank you. Please and thank you.
Right.
Humbly submitted.
That's right. Well, Brandise, like I said, I guess in about another 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to find out.
We're going to see.
If the reason they're not working is because, well, I mean, it's one of 3 things. It's either they went and got another job, but so many people are places are trying to hire, say they're short staffed. I highly doubt they got another job, but then the unemployment numbers they're not great, but they're not horrible considering. And then it could be I see, lose my train of thought. So it could be that, or it could be the money, or it could be the fact
they really are scared of
going back.
Yeah.
But then if that's the case, they're gonna be suffering. And then the other thing is the wages. Is that an issue? But my mother used to always say, "And beat Nan." So if you get something, that's better than nothing. While you protesting, at least bring some money home.
Yeah, well, I think some of them just holding out.
Just holding out for a better offer.
Yes, they just holding out because.
Well,
there's a lot of
push off the ledge. You gotta go at this point.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places that are offering that $15 they were talking about. They just announced how many people Amazon are going to start hiring. Aside from
their normal holiday hiring?
But no, they talked about they wanted to hire technical people, management people to hire up. And they just announced yesterday that they're going to hire another 60,000 people, something crazy number like that.
Okay.
And the average wage the wages are going to be between $14 and $18 an hour.
Okay. So I mean, it's not 12, right? I joke and tell my staff all the time, I know places at $10 flat. Take it or leave it, answer 100 calls, and y'all don't take 100 calls a day. So y'all kind of riding a little gravy train because you make a significant amount more than $10. So Right. If you happen to follow me or not follow me, I will be probably hiring and posting again. So if you know anybody looking, it is currently remote from home. Very simple work. I train you. I'll teach you everything. All you need to know how to do is pick up the phone and have a reasonable voice to, and a willingness to want to assist people. Follow my link and apply when you see it.
So what is that? Where will you be posting that information?
I'll put it on my Facebook, and you can share it to the Things One Never Told Me page or wherever, and
right,
send some people my way that are interested.
Right, and hopefully they'll be real interested because before I retired, before I became a full-time manager, I was a temporary manager, and I was allowed, and I was tasked with hiring a secretary. So it was people in my building who were trying to move up from where they were. So I told them that we're going to be hiring a secretary. Be on the lookout for the announcement. Okay, cool. Thanks. Now, I'm not looking for a job. So of course
I'm not going.
I'm not paying attention. So the job came, and when I saw it, it was like 2 days till it was going to expire. And I asked, well, did anybody apply? No, nobody's applied. Nobody's applied. So I went down to the area, and the person wasn't there. And so I said, okay, well, maybe they're going to apply before it ends. So when I got back to him, I was waiting for you to tell me it had posted.
Okay, so you weren't really interested. Okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. That just confirmed it.
Right.
That's
so you
right.
want me
No
to tell you
brainer.
about the job and then fill out the application for you too.
Hold your hand. Am I sitting in the interview with you? You want me to submit the answers too?
Just like what I said, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be lazy people that don't.
Yeah, like Ray just said.
Yeah, that's who I'm referring to.
There's always going to be lazy people. You can't get around that. What Teresa just said, they have to commit to working by showing up on time and with scheduled work.
That's it. And communicate. And I even go as far as saying, if you're not going to show up or be on time or scheduled, just send me a text so I know. I don't want your business. I don't got to know if it's the baby birthday. I don't care if you sleep, your leg fell asleep, you cut it open. Hey, Brandise, just so you know, I won't be in today or I'm running late. Cool. Right. I know. So when they come and ask me, oh, yep, I've spoken with, I know she won't be in today. We're short staffed for somebody's out.
Right. Yeah, because if you're not coming, you ain't coming, whatever the reason is.
And don't pause and act like you waiting on me to give you permission to not come, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put myself in a hole and say, yeah, stay at home. Please stay at home. So I got to take the calls in the queue. And I ain't going to offer that up, but we're adults, right? You got to do what you got to do. And whether that's an emergency comes up or a day you just like, I don't feel like working.
Yeah.
But you always say, you do have some dedicated people. I have a sister that had about 10 jobs since the pandemic. And right now she is not even making $15, but she is always, do you hear me? Always on time. Her and my brother. They're F workers. F workers are amazing. Yeah. My brother he's walked to work in the wintertime, and it's several blocks.
Right.
He gets up 2 or 3 hours early.
Yeah, they get there early because he at one time he was riding his bike and then something happened to that. He did get hit by a car or something.
No, he hit a bump
or something. Messed his bike up.
Smoke and ride the bike.
So then he walked to work. So
he walked.
Still got there.
Still got there
because he left out. Well, an hour and a half, 2 hours early, so he can get to work.
How you doing, Mary James? You all right?
That's what I'm saying. And my sister, they always be right there, a half hour, 45 minutes in the parking lot, waiting
for their shift to start. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they don't even want her to leave. They don't even want her to call in. They get mad when she have to call in.
Right.
And it's so rare.
Yeah.
And then Pookie and Ray Ray now
strolling in.
Got to be at work at 8 and waking up at 7:59.
And then the first one to be mad when somebody get promoted over them or XYZ, and it's like, what did you think? you weren't thinking they were going to pick you, were you? I mean, we know sometimes favoritism, whatever happens, but come on now.
Right. Hey, Cheryl Tyler. So we'll be on the lookout in the next couple of weeks to find out if the numbers go up and the signs go down, because a lot of places are closing, shuttering the doors. Dutch Girl Donuts.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they said they were closing temporarily, but a lot of people think it's permanent, and because they can't get the people.
Wow.
Merriweather's restaurant on Telegraph, been around a long time. Building for sale now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
And there were times when I thought it was closed over there, but I was like, oh no, they're still open.
They're still open. Hey man, Hey Minister May Alexander, how you doing? So we'll do that. So Brandon, what was your the next topic that you had?
Oh, so recently, or this past Monday, the Met Gala happened, and some of you may or may not know, the Met Gala is an annual fundraising for the Metropolitan Museum of Art Costume Institute.
Well,
and I looked that up because I don't know that by heart. So just a couple things that I wanted to talk about this. First of all, I assume that it's a fundraising event. So, I'm sure the plates, are pretty expensive. In 2019, I was looking, but I didn't find it fast enough. But in 2019, it was $30,000 per seat. That was 2019. So I only imagine in 2021 what the price was.
Right.
And it's been going on since 1948.
Wow.
The other thing I wanted to highlight, which has kind of been a talk on the timelines that, I scroll, is what Rihanna and her current boyfriend had on. So everybody's like, worst dress. This is horrible. What is this about? Why is Rihanna in this black looking cape, dark covered looking weird, strange thing? And he got on a quilt that looks like just colorful and craziness, right? So they finally, interview them on the carpet, and she, speaks to, and let me find it so we can quote her. But she speaks to the costume or her attire and the reason, that she decided to wear what she wore, and it made me go, well, I guess I can appreciate it a little better now, right? Because before I was like, y'all just wearing anything. First of all, Rihanna, you would wear something crazy like this. That's fine. I'm okay with you doing that. But now you got him out here in a little quilt, cloaked in, looking colorful.
Looking colorful. Too bad you can't show a picture of that one.
And he's smiling and happy about it. So I can't find it. But basically she said something to the effect that, typically, African Americans, there's this stigma around the dark hoodie and the, dark clothing. And, we get, how did she say it? Just like, everything we know about a hoodie, right? And it was an ode to Trayvon Martin. And the colorful quilt he had on was supposed to be the Skittles. I'm like, now y'all, how long did y'all sit at home and think about this one? I appreciate it. Thank you for using your platform, in this space at the Met Gala to do this.
So he was the Skittles that Trayvon had.
He was the Skittles, and she represented the dark.
Okay.
So it just speaks to, the people do all types of crazy things at the Met. At the Met, we see high fashion. We see some fashion no-nos that we like. No. Even I know better than that one.
Well,
that look.
They had a conversation about outfits that they wear to that event, and what they said is that the celebrities, because the only ones that go there are celebrities. First of all, you got to be the celebrity or rich to be paying that kind of money for a ticket, and it's for a worthy cause. But it's the attire is designed to be absurd.
Over the top.
And there's a theme every year.
It's a theme, right? They want to be over the top because it's their night to have fun and just see how absurd they could be. Because you saw Kim Kardashian's outfit.
Yeah, because what is this? A shadow? I don't. Did she show up somebody's shadow here tonight?
Yes.
Whose
That's
shadow
what
was
I
she
said
though?
Well, it ain't Kanye's.
It's their interpretation of whatever the theme for the year is. And sometimes I look at it and go, oh, I get that. And then there are times when I'm certainly not a fashionista. I can speak to that. We've had some on here. I wasn't a guest for that reason. But I sure know I've seen some stuff that I'm just like, this ain't landing well for me. I don't know.
Right.
But like you said, it's for them to have fun. They're always judged about appearance, and when they step out, it's always who are they wearing? What are they wearing? Who's the next biggest designer? Who's the hottest this? Who's the hottest that? And they just
exactly.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel, not Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sorry. What's the on Channel 4 on Tonight Show? I don't
know who replaced him.
I can't think. But anyway, he wore a black tux and a black bow tie and a white shirt and got roasted.
It's too normal.
It's too normal.
How dare you come to the Met? Normal.
Right. Fallon, Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon.
Kimmel, that ain't him.
No, that ain't him. Yeah, but so it's an ode to the absurd. To the absurd. Yeah. And so I guess we got to appreciate the fact that they're willing to put themselves out there like that.
Oh yeah.
Because you better believe I ain't going dressed like no Skittle. No bag of Skittles.
And they are entertainers of the art.
Yeah.
You know, they are artists. So
They have that space to do that. And
Yes.
by all means, enjoy. And some of them, gonna care what people got to say. And at the end of the night, some of them absolutely are not, because guess what? I'm still here and you are still over there reporting about it.
That's right.
Yes.
So
That's right. That's right. That's right, Mary Jane. Jimmy Fallon. We figured it out. Yeah, you and Teresa go back and look at that. I mean, because I didn't, I really want to look at him again because I saw the outfit. I was just trying to figure out what. But now that I know he's
not too dark. Let's see.
Yeah, it's too dark.
I see it.
I don't see him.
He's not in that one.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's Rihanna.
Yeah, Mr. Skittle. Because I like Skittles.
Really thought, because the theme was like American fashion or something. So I'm like, oh, like an American quilt. I get it.
Right. And that wasn't it.
Oh, yeah.
If you're watching now, there he is and all this. Yes, I see it now.
Yep.
I see it now.
Made much more sense.
Yes, that is.
Good job, Brandise.
That's a bag of Skittles. It is.
So, hey, I was just like,
you had Kim Kardashian up there?
let me find it. I can.
I love that was
me and my shadow.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, even that took some effort, right? Because she had to be able to see she wasn't like escorted by anyone from what I saw in pictures, but
no. Right, she looks just like a shadow.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked and looked again too. I was like,
yeah. So it's those who are looking at you can see that I give them a B+ on the Skittles.
Yeah, A for
effort.
using your platform and speaking out.
Well, I'm glad that when they asked her the question, she was able to articulate the message.
Exactly what.
Because just looking at it, nobody would know that's what was going on.
Now, one guy on Instagram, he said it. Everybody's like, what do they got on? And he was like, I think this. He's like, y'all, I think this is a thing, a tribute to Trayvon Martin. He's like, so many people, have forgotten. He's like, we have not forgotten. There are people who have not forgotten. And I look at this and it's immediately what I see. And everybody like, nah, Zoe, we think you missed it. Nah, bro, you missed it. No, that ain't what it's about. And then the next day when he posted her comment about it and was like, oh, y'all said I missed it, but it is exactly what I got from it. So I was like, that's kudos to him, because I certainly didn't look at it at all and think that.
No.
But knowing Rihanna, and she does a good job of using her platform. She is one, I would say, that since her crazy fiasco stuff when she was in the media for stuff she didn't want to be in there for, certainly she has been focused on her business, lingerie, makeup,
yes,
skincare, all that good stuff, and has kind of been just doing her and running business and occupying her space.
Right. Well, I ain't mad at her. Anybody can make some money and then deliver a message. It's all right with me.
Yep, absolutely. Same here. You get me? You ain't forgot.
Right.
Where you come from? Go ahead. Thank you. Every room you're in, speak up. That's right.
Right.
I know, because, and speaking of, even the old celebrities back in the day, like James Brown, Aretha Franklin, I didn't know all of those were like big civil rights and stories started appearing. Muhammad Ali and all of them were really for the cause.
Yeah.
Billie Holiday.
Yeah. A lot of them risk their lives and careers to step. And Billie Holiday, oh my God. If you saw that biopic,
I haven't watched that one yet. I saw reviews and I was like, I don't know if I want to dip off into that one yet. I be in the right mind.
That's a lot to chew on.
Yeah,
it really is. So that's good. So what else you got, Brandise?
What else do I got?
Well, while you thinking, we got a couple things we can say.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody was looking at watching the news today or listening to it, but the COVID numbers are on the rise again. There were over 6,000 cases for the last 2 days, which means over 3,000 a day on average. And the deaths thing, I hate it when they do this. They had 69 deaths. I didn't hear them say how many were vital record reviews, but they had the asterisk by it, so I know that some were.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. I know a lot of people are stating all their various reasons why they don't want to get vaccinated, and the sad truth is that too many people are still coming down with it.
Yeah.
And we were talking to a friend the other day, and they have two cousins, sisters. Both of them contracted COVID. One of them was vaccinated, and the other one wasn't. The one that was vaccinated was in the hospital for a couple of days, and they sent her home. The other one is on the ventilator. And
That's kind of a, looking at it, that's real close. I'm saying COVID has gotten close by me, by us, and it's made me go, shaking in your boots a bit. It has made me, even still, I made a status some months ago or whatever, but it's like when I hear, when we were in the thick of it and I heard, people would go live and people would get on Facebook and tell their stories, their testimonies about, surviving COVID. And it like every time chills, just every time, just thinking about, how many people were lost and, those people who made it out before there was a vaccine, before,
right. But the problem is that the ones who were ill, who were really ill, had to be hospitalized. Mm-hmm. And even some of the ones who weren't, there are long-lasting effects.
Yeah, that's what I've been.
From COVID on your internal organs. So there are people who are having heart problems, lung problems, whatever, because it just runs havoc, causes havoc with your internals. So it's my whole thing with it is that there used to be a time in this country, and it was a very brief moment in history, where in this country we didn't care just about ourselves. We cared about everybody else. And so we did things not to just benefit us, but to benefit the greater cause. And now, this day, it seems we've gotten so far away from caring about anybody else that we don't care. As long as we make it through, we don't care about anybody else. As long as I get my money, I don't care about the rest of y'all.
Y'all figure it out.
I figured it out.
I had to figure it out. Y'all
right.
The same.
Yeah, even though you may have figured it out because you had a relative who took the money part anyway, who helped you figure it out. Mm-hmm. We don't see that. But that's why my little shirt.
Excuse me.
My little
us,
unity shirt. Us, not I, them, or you. Because at the end of the day, we ain't gonna make it just on our own. We just not. We don't have. And let's just say that you did. Let's just say that you survived this whole thing and all this craziness is going on right now, and you survived, and nobody else did.
Then what?
What's that gonna look like?
Then what?
Definitely the Twilight Zone.
Talk to me about that, because I've been watching The Walking Dead and I don't want no parts of.
Right.
And those in my era, the Twilight Zone.
Hey, Jasmine, how you doing? Right. For those of a certain age and those who aren't a certain age, there was a Twilight Zone episode years and years ago where this guy couldn't stand people. Mm-hmm. He didn't. All he wanted to do was read. Couldn't stand people. So there was a major event, atomic bomb or something went off, and when he wherever he was sheltered from it. When he came out, everybody was dead, and he didn't know what to. Oh my God!
Yeah, but just shook the whole world.
Right. He was
like COVID doing now.
Right, and he was really in a bad way until he was walking down the street and he saw the library. Mm. And he was like, oh my God, the library. Because all he liked to do was read anyway. He didn't like people. So he went into the library. Oh my God, all the books. I'm just going to read. Well, now, the guy wore glasses. And he was literally almost blind without his glasses on. So guess what happened to him? His glasses fell off and broke. Mm. And he couldn't see.
He stepped on them too.
Yeah, then he stepped on them and they crushed and he couldn't see. So
he heard that.
The point of the story is that even when you think you got it made when you're by yourself, you ain't got it made.
It ain't. Yeah, it ain't.
We need each other to survive, and all we asking for is 70% of us to get
Other
back.
people get vaccinated. Yeah. So
Because all these people are getting tested every day that didn't take the vaccine, but they are ending up with COVID.
it's ridiculous. And they said the numbers for kids is crazy. I think 1 in 6
Oh, really? Wow, I know that.
positive tests are young people now. You're under 16.
Mm.
I think that was the number I saw the other day. So it's really it's something, we need to get to a point where we need to concern ourselves with the other folks around us too, because what they say, if you keep letting something happen to other people, one day when they come to you, it's going to be nobody there to help you, not one, and then you'll be next.
Single one, yeah.
Right. So that's my COVID spiel. Brandise, something that I saw. Something was, whatever. It's people who play golf. Let's start out like that. People play golf, doggone.
People play golf.
And in our community, there's a lot of people that play golf. When I started playing, I was amazed at how many black folks play golf.
I was amazed at how many women play.
How many women play? It's a lot of us that play golf.
Including yours truly, but
I'm a member of a Facebook group that we, African Americans. So it's a lot of us. But one of the things that I found out, because as always, people thought that when Tiger Woods got to the peak of his talent, that a lot of black folks would start. It'd be a lot more black professional golfers
running to the green.
and the sad truth is, a lot more people started playing golf as amateurs, but less became professionals. And so now that he's out hurt, we've gotten to a point where I think we got in the last 20 years anyway, we got more blacks playing golf. I think there are 5 women in the pro ranks and there are 4 men.
Okay.
So, but out of the hundreds of professional golfers, really, right?
That math breakdown too.
Yeah, that struggle still continues.
Right. So I just wanted to throw a couple of facts out here, a historic thing to tell you about how we got behind the 8 ball. The Professional Golf Association first allowed a black person to join in 1960. That was the first time a black
60. That sound like the other day.
Listen, the problem is that
clubs or
in the bylaws of the Professional Golf Association, it said it was a game for Caucasians only.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that would make a difference. Okay.
That was in the rules. And so, young man, Charlie Sifford, in 1960, he won a couple of events that qualified him to play in a PGA Tour event. And so that's when they finally and then, of course, through the court system, they finally, and then there were, of course, white players who protested because a lot of the white players would go to the black tour. They had a black tour and play there. But so they finally allowed him. But he was 39.
Oh, jeez.
Now, most golfers start playing professionally when they, early 20s. He was 39 years old. And so, but he was the first one. The Masters golf course, Augusta National, which opened in 1932, did not allow a black member until 1990.
Definitely the other day.
1990.
That's the other day.
The first African American that played in the Masters was Lee Elder, and that was in 1975. So for some of y'all, that's a while ago, but for us, I remember when Lee Elder played. When it happened, it was a big deal. So the first woman member of Augusta National, Condoleezza Wright, and it's a businesswoman, Darla Moore, was in 2012 when they finally allowed a woman to be a member at Augusta National. That's crazy.
Okay, I take every other day back. That was the other day, 2012.
Yes.
Wow,
that's crazy. And the fact of the matter is that I bring it up because on top of the reason why we don't have a lot of folks playing. We weren't allowed for so long.
Excuse me.
That what happens with a lot of stuff is like with the baseball, with the Negro leagues. Couldn't play, so they created their own league and had so many great players that what they did was they wind up what they always do when black folks come up with stuff. They suck it up. They steal it. They take it and they take and they take the best players, or they because like Hank Aaron and them, they played in the Negro leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Mays played in the Negro leagues. But these guys came across and made it to Major League Baseball because everybody wants to play where the best is, where the money is. And so when they do that, it kills our league. It's just like the historically black colleges and universities. All the best athletes are going to the mainstream schools. And so now these schools, they got a couple good ones down there, but they so far down in the cotton fields that nobody knows about them, or when they find out about them, it's a hard road for them to get out.
Break out.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of young people now that are actually going to playing at HBCUs. But the point of the matter is that we are put in a position where even when we excel, we get pushed back. Jab, and they swear segregation was a long time ago. Segregation, especially in the South, was in my lifetime. I'll put it like that.
Facts.
I'll put it like that. So it's just a matter of us knowing the history and knowing that it ain't that long ago. It ain't that long ago.
And Jazz raises a point here too, which is a very good question, because this is what I'm thinking. So people not teaching their kids, or there's not enough interest
in golf.
Right? Yeah, if you're a professional golfer, your great granddaddy or somebody was, this first person ever in the PGA Tour or whatever it is, you're not like, I want to follow in my granddad's footsteps or my uncle so-and-so, and that legacy continues like with other sports. My dad played basketball. My dad was a baller, or, whatever.
The thing about it is that the problem is that in golf, there is such a chasm between who can the kid whose grandparents are teaching them. Because if your grandparents ain't members of a country club, then you getting out there playing is going to be kind of hard. There's an organization here called Midnight Golf where they take high school juniors and they teach them and they take them on a tour with HBCUs and they teach them about golf and about life. Well, the problem with a lot of that is that the transition from playing golf in high school, high school, college, and then making it and then to the get to the real competitive levels, it takes money.
Yeah,
sponsors. See, they teaching young black kids to play golf as soon as they can hold a golf club. They teach it. There are more young black kids playing golf than there are playing baseball.
I believe that.
But what it takes to get to the pros is a whole nother issue, because you need sponsors. Because like baseball, if you get picked up by a team, they're going to pay you and put you in the minor leagues and train you and bring you on up. In golf, when you get into the minor league tours, they call it, like the Corn Ferry Tour and those they call them mini tours. You play in those, you have to pay to play.
I was about to say, you probably spending more money than you would make if you won or placed or whatever, So
well, you got to make the cut first, and then those millions that they making on the PGA Tour, they ain't making that kind of money down there. They're not making near that kind of money. So then there's certain things, hoops you got to jump through, and metrics you have to meet in order to earn your tour card. And then once you earn your tour card, then you have to get into those events. And if you don't get what they call a sponsor's exemption, where people sponsor the event, say, okay, because there was a young black guy, he just won the African American college thing or whatever it is, mini tour thing, and so he actually got exemption into 3 events.
Okay.
So he played on the tour. Well, then there's the problem of when we play, do we make the cut? Because if you don't make the cut, then So people need somebody who's going to be there to help them, a sugar daddy, if you will, to help them as they learn. Because if you worried about what money coming from to get in the event, so then you worry about where you'll get money from to eat. If you worry about that, who the heck got time
Yeah.
to spend money to practice.
Yeah.
Because the reason why those guys are so good because they practice every day. Like you go to your job, that's their job. It's
Yeah,
practice.
they have to.
Yeah.
I
So
think when I from my experience with golf, seeing my dad play, I think there was just a couple summers. I would see him shooting in the backyard, and I would be like, "Oh, that's cool. Let me see." He would put down the jar, the glass or whatever, and I'm trying to hit it in there and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I can't get that little ball in there. No, it's not gonna work." And it was just too slow for me, so that's where my interest fell off. I'm like, so I gotta just stand here and hit the swing at this hit it. The only thing that I remember enjoying about it was when he would take me to the golf course with him and let me drive the golf cart with him and his buddies, and they let me drive them, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll be back next week." So that was fun to me. But I'm sure if I had taken the time or if there was a figure or some, like people see athletes now and they're like, "Oh, I want to be MJ. I want to be, this player. They're great. They're excelling." If we maybe could possibly not be true. If I saw that, I might have. Right. I don't know.
Well,
it's just shot in the dark.
Well, like you were saying, it's too slow. Jasmine says it's a rich man's sport, and that's really not true. It's really not true. You got to be strategic. Just like anything else you do nowadays, you got to be strategic in how you spend your money and where you spend your money. And you can play, because I ain't no way I'm rich. Jasmine, your daddy and your mama ain't rich. So anyway, but if people play baseball is way slower than golf.
Is it?
Yes. See, when you watch, here's the problem with golf. And just like baseball, there's a difference between watching it and playing it.
Okay.
Most people who watch golf on TV and enjoy it play golf. I enjoy baseball, but I can't stand watching. I will watch golf long before I watch a baseball game.
Really? See?
Well, even when I played baseball, even when I played softball, stop it, Jasmine. It's not
lies.
When I was playing softball, if you in the field, you ain't getting the action.
Yeah, you do. The ball come.
You do need a sugar daddy to be a pro, Jasmine. That's for real. You until the ball come your way, you just standing there.
Yeah, you just hanging out.
And so somebody hit it. And so imagine if you there watching it, you just sitting there. Unless you unless you enter the interaction with the pitcher and the catcher and the batter. If you into that, then baseball ain't boring. When you playing golf, you are doing something almost the entire time you're playing golf. You aren't just standing there. You're constantly moving. Except when your people you playing with are hitting, you don't move.
Yeah, it's not your turn.
Right, but other than that, you hit and you move to the next ball. You move to the spot where the ball hit the next shot. So you're constantly doing something. So it's not as slow as it would appear when you're playing.
Okay.
Now, if you're sitting there watching it, it may seem like you're watching paint dry.
Yeah, because you seeing this one, especially on TV. Because you're watching that one person hit the ball, then he's switching over to another one that's doing whatever. Then you got all these people following you.
Yeah, all that.
So
filing.
I understand us commoners when we are watching those things. But like you said, to me, like you said, you would have to be a golfer.
Right. To watch it, yeah. People. I know people who don't play golf to watch it, but to really enjoy it, you got to play because you got to understand what you're watching. But as far as what it costs to play, once you get your club, because the crazy numbers that people spend on clubs, you don't have to spend that kind of money on your clubs. You just don't.
That's just not going professional.
Well, because a lot of people think if they buy the latest and greatest, then it's going to improve their game. But you can buy you a set of clubs. You can take some lessons, and there are people out there who will give you lessons at a reasonable rate.
Okay.
And then your only expense is golf balls and playing. Well, there are lots of discounts to play golf.
Okay.
So, I don't pay full price to play golf. I don't.
Okay, senior.
But aside from senior, there are coupon books that you can buy to give you discounted different courses. There are websites and apps that offer discounts at golf courses. So you can play And you ain't gonna play it every day anyway. So you're gonna play once or twice a week. So you're not gonna pay a whole lot to play. You just aren't.
Add it up at the end of the season.
It's a decent amount at the end of the year. But if you bowl, it ain't no worse than people who bowl. You pay a whole lot of money to bowl.
Yeah, when I was in a little league, felt like I was playing basketball again with to going to tournaments and all this little getting the ball, getting some shoes and t-shirts. They want to be cool, the team, and I'm trying to keep up with team t-shirts. Even though I'm bowling with the 6-year-olds and I'm 14, it was embarrassing, but I was there until I quit because I couldn't stand it no more.
Right, that's right. That's
They
right.
got me down here on the kitty end. My friends all down on that end because they, had been bowling since they were 6, and I jumped in at 12 and 14. Talking, I want to bowl, and here's where your average puts you with the 6-year-olds who just started bowling.
I remember those days. Brandise done froze up on me, see there. But right, May, right, and it's like it's. And right, and hockey is a good example. May Alexander just say it's like hockey when it was whites only, and then blacks. If there are so many black hockey players now, the problem with black hockey players for the most part is like black golfers. They don't look black. Mm. Most of them. Most of them
they're not with us.
They from mixed. They come from. They got mixed parents or whatever, so they don't necessarily look black, but. We know young people, a young man who plays hockey and at a high level. So the stuff is out there. It's just a matter of us. The biggest problem with it is that when you break the color barrier, it's just like the golfers when they finally started playing with the white folks, they experience a whole lot of evil stuff.
Pushback, yeah.
There's a book called Uneven Lies. If anybody's interested in finding out about the history of blacks in professional golf. The book is entitled Uneven Lies. There's actually a video that you can find it, a movie they did on it too. But it was written by Pete McDaniel. And it's available on Amazon, but it's called Uneven Lies. It's an easy read.
For the golfers that's out there listening.
Yeah, for the golfers that want to know. And anybody who just wants to know. It's an easy read, but when you get to the part where they made it to the pros and were playing of course, with white folks, then it gets a little uncomfortable. Much like when Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, and all those things. Because there are some ignorant people out there. They just are, and they think that and so the black hockey players are experiencing that as well. Because some people think that they own everything, and they don't own any doggone thing. Most of them don't even own the clothes they wear. So, anyway. Brandise, you got anything else for us?
That's it. Time. Yes, we are rolling right on up on it.
Right.
Perfect timing.
Yep. And I'll say this. Oh, you played regular until you... Okay, right, man. That's right, you sure did. She said she played regular until she partially lost her sight.
Okay.
One thing my mother never told me is that I'd be playing golf.
I would have never thought it either.
She didn't tell me that.
Who would have thunk it?
Right. And I ran track in high school. I wish that I had got exposed to golf when I was in high school.
Yep, I ran track in high school as well.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you.
Bye. I saw you.
But yeah, I wish I'd have got exposed to it back then. And also if and I'll put this out there, we played in a Cass Tech Alumni Association golf event this weekend, and they were raising money for Cass Tech's golf team. Trying to get equipment for them and all that. So I'll put a plea out there. If anybody has any used golf equipment or new, any golf equipment really, and you want to donate it to some young folks that are out there trying to learn this game, you can take it down to Cass Tech. There's the a golf driving range over in Royal Oak Golf Center on 13 Mile and Coolidge. You can take it over there and say it's for Cass Tech and drop it off, and they'll get it to Cass Tech.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I got to take some clubs over there probably tomorrow.
Yeah. See what my daddy gonna do with all his stuff. Maybe they can benefit from it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right, because a lot of us that play golf, we part of the reason why it costs so much. You get a set of golf clubs, ain't nothing wrong with them, but you go buy another set.
A whole nother set.
And now you got a set sitting there.
Duplicates and triples and stuff.
Right.
Well, it's like the first home, like that was your first set, so now I got my forever set.
Right. Right. Once you get to of a certain age, you ain't buying no more golf.
No more, yeah. Look.
It's just no point to be buying.
Because let me say this. It is expensive equipment.
Yes, it is.
It is expensive equipment.
You're right.
But with some coupons and some discounts.
Make it work.
Look, and a few donations and a generous husband that wants you to play with him.
Right. and some good luck in the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Winning some money that'll help.
That can go toward that.
But I tell you how I funded one of my sets though. Every day when I came home from work, I put all my singles in a jar. I put all my change in another jar.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, I was able to buy a set of golf clubs, bedroom furniture, and living room furniture.
Yeah.
That's some saving right there. I need tips. Plug me.
That was.
Well,
I was dedicated.
I won a great deal of money in the bowling alley.
Got you.
That helped. So,
and I had the generous husband.
Yeah. So she don't know what it costs because she ain't bought nothing.
For me, thank you.
Well, like you say, he wanted me to play with him.
Yeah. You want me to play? Okay.
I know when I was going out there and seeing $700, $800 for a set, I was like, oh, that ain't me. And then that ain't even with the bag.
So these loose clubs.
But you can go to buy to a place like Dick's or
Play It Again. Is that still
Play It Again? Yeah, Play It Again still out there. And also you gonna scrape it together and buy shoes. Yes, ma'am. Shoes
that's where I was going next.
Shoes is cheap.
Yeah.
But and what's the other?
They got $300 pairs.
Golf Galaxy. Places like that, you can go buy a little set for a couple $100.
Yeah.
What one club costs. And you get the bag too. And then you can buy used golf balls. Get a real good deal on them. And if you take lessons before you go, you won't
get some money off.
Well, you won't lose your balls.
Oh.
The balls will last you longer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But shoes can get up there too.
Yeah, they can be expensive.
They got them.
It's like everything.
$250 and up for 400. Even women. I was like,
$400.
Yes.
Oh well, we talked about shoes and Jordan and them having
Yeah, same thing.
So,
and we got a new millennial brand, and they start at $100 or $200.
They was on sale for $180. They're $250.
Yeah,
the cheapest pair.
A new millennial brand.
For a regular price. So they're out there. I mean, they out there. You can. It's like anything that you buy that we especially that we wear. Mm-hmm. You can spend a whole lot of money on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can be a careful shopper.
Right.
And spend
steal.
Spend a reasonable price and still get equipment that suits you.
Mm-hmm. And still enjoy,
And still enjoy.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing about golf is being out there, camaraderie, and being out there in nature.
In nature, yeah, definitely.
It's got to be something because my dad, though, he doesn't, play anymore. He still goes and hangs out when he can and could.
Mm-hmm.
He would go and still sit with them on the golf course and watch them play.
Right. And then after they get finished, they sit in the parking lot for 2 hours.
And talk more. So, I can testify to the camaraderie.
Right.
I know, because when I played with him, I was like, wow, and your dad can play too.
Yes, he can.
He was really good.
Yes.
But yeah, we would still, after it's done, sit up there and talk.
Mm-hmm.
I was up to say,
no, Jasmine.
We not done.
Jasmine say, I gotta be fly. Look, Jasmine. The craziest thing is if you go to a place like Curls or
on these country clubs, when you go out of town, these people,
when they go, and these women, there are more women in the golf stores buying clothes than there are men.
I bet.
They're not even close.
Not right.
And all of them say the same thing. I just gotta give you a cute outfit.
Oh, okay. I already got something like this at home, but I'm gonna get it anyway.
No, they gotta get a cute outfit. That's all.
They still gonna buy some, especially if we go out of town.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's just what it is.
There are some cute outfits.
But look how much money we have generated for golf.
Yeah. And labeled as golf on Nike, like
for the sports.
This is a golf tank or a pair of golf pants, but they would probably be cute with. Okay, let me just scroll away.
Exactly.
Because I've seen stuff and it was labeled, golf, and I'm like, I could wear this. This is just
That's
a
right.
regular tank. Why I can't wear this?
Yeah.
And then everybody will thank you, play.
Yeah.
All right, Brandis, we're gonna get out of here.
All right.
Hey, we thank y'all for listening in.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And we'll be back next week with the regular show. And until then, everybody take care.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Peace.